Welcome back to OpenLine, everybody. We are talking with filmmaker Fr3dR1ck Taylor. He lives here in Nashville, also spends time in Atlanta. He's traveled all over the world, putting together documentaries. He's going to be speaking at the Nashville Film Festival, which is this week.
It is.
It's this week.
Absolutely.
So let's talk briefly about that. Then we're going to play another trailer, show some more of your work.
Okay.
What are you talking about at the film festival?
I'm talking about screenplay writing, and specifically the art of the pitch of screenplay writing. You can have a great idea, but if you don't know how to talk about your great idea, it is just a tree falling in the forest. So it's really important that people are able to express their thoughts, feelings, and ideas about their vision. And so I'm going to be on a group of panelists judging individuals that are going to come up and talk about their particular screenplays.
And I see I'm fascinated by that. I won't spend too long on this, but how long, you have a great idea, you should be able to pitch it in what? Like an elevator?
It's an elevator.
It's 30 seconds?
Yeah,
or
you
is
get
it
like
5
30
minutes?
to 60. No, you don't get 5 minutes. No one gets 5 minutes in the 21st century for anything. You're going to get an elevator pitch, and you've got to convince someone that this is a really great idea and they should spend millions of dollars on it.
In a few seconds, really, in a minute or less.
Yeah. The windows are pretty tight. Yeah.
All right, well, that's interesting. So that's part of the film festival.
That's a part of the film
what
festival.
What else? I mean, we're going to move on to some of the other stuff, but what else is standing out of the film festival? What else do you want to say? It's happening, I believe it goes Thursday.
Yeah, well, the opening night party is tomorrow.
Okay.
And then people start screening films the following day on Friday as well, and then it just goes further.
It's like 150 films, and it's at multiple venues, several venues around town.
All over town. So I encourage as many people as possible to get out and do it. For all of those people that have been wanting to go back to the movies, going back to film festivals is the way to do it, to be perfectly honest. You're going to see some really great films. There's some amazing films. They're from all over the world. They're thought-provoking. You don't have to go see the long-form films. You can go see the short-form films. You can see 1-minute films, 10-minute films, 30-minute films. You have a plethora of choices. There is a Tanya Tucker film that's going to be at the Belcourt as well. We all love Tanya Tucker. So I think that is something to go see as well. There's a lot of really great legacy films now about music artists as well that I really encourage people to get out there and see too. So this is a great time, a very robust time for films and content and things like that. That's kind of outside of the box. It's a little bit less traditional. Get away from your streaming box at home. Go out, please go out. And at the same time, you know, see something new, see something different, and see something global from all over the world.
I've loved going to the film festival, and what I love is this. So you go and you watch a film, and you're right, it could be long, it could be short, and often the filmmaker is right there.
Exactly.
And so there's a Q&A, and you can ask the filmmaker, why did you decide to do this? Why did you open with that shot? You know, what was the hardest thing about putting this thing together? You can talk to him. You can talk to him, you know, ask him maybe they have a Q&A after, or just go up to them in the hallway and ask them. And I love that the filmmakers are there, and you can talk to them about the process of putting these things together, which is not easy.
No, it's not. And filmmakers always like it when you buy them a beer. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Literally, they'll talk to you if you just say, hey, can I buy you a beer? And then you can talk to them all you want.
They're so unusual. That's so unusual that they would like that. All right. Now, we've showed some of your work. I want to show some more of your work.
Yes.
Again, I asked at the top to describe your work. You did. You've done all kinds of stuff, right?
Yes.
And we're going to look at something called Dance Champs, I believe.
Yes.
Tell us about that. And then it's 55 seconds. We're going to look at a trailer. But tell us about that.
It is on PBS. With a series called If Cities Could Dance. You can go see it on PBS, on your PBS app, if you've got Roku. Any way that you can get onto the PBS platform, you can watch it. You go into If Cities Could Dance, and it's the Atlanta episode. And it's also an Emmy-winning episode as well.
Congratulations. That's
thank
great.
you very much. And it's a tremendous story about some incredibly talented young people who just dance their hearts out. And
all right, we'll roll the tape, and then I'm gonna have more questions. I bet. Yeah. Okay. Let's see that.
It wasn't a place for us above ground, so we do it underground, and we can't always be our 100% selves in our daily lives because we have to share this world with people who don't look at us the same. When you find a J-Set team of like-minded people, they become your family. They become people that you trust. They become people that you spend your most time with. I I'm reaching for our acknowledgement and not be chastised or not be judged or not be boxed in. I'm reaching for respect. I'm reaching for acceptance for us all.
Some beautiful shots there.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so what has the reaction been with that?
Poof. Fire emoji. People love it. It's great. People, as we were filming, people were standing on the sidelines, just observing and watching and taking pictures as well. And they loved to talk to the dancers. And it was something that was extraordinary. And it's something that moved all different kinds of people as well. And this was a celebration also of the LGBTQ community, too, which is, once again, another cultural group that is here to stay. They're not going anywhere. We have to learn how to all live together, and that's a big part about who they are, and that is the sort of the gestative parts of their dance that drive them, that they are, that's why they're so powerful when they're dancing, because they're, I want you to notice me, I want you to see me, I am here, I want to be accounted for, I am a person, I am a human being, and I'm someone of unique expression as well.
How did you learn about this? Did you see them out doing that, or someone told you? How did you learn about it?
I was told about it. I mean, I had heard bits and pieces of it. It actually started at Jackson State University. It's called J-setting. And J-setting is a style of dancing that is a combination of some of the things that we're familiar with, like Alvin Ailey dancing, also the dance moves of HBCU majorettes as well, and then a certain amount of hip hop and street dancing and things like that. That it's all sort of combined together to create this new form of dance. Now, the interesting part about this is that the dance isn't gender specific. It's non-binary, it's fluid. So the girls dance like the boys and the boys dance like the girls, and they combine the dance moves together so they mirror each other. It's fascinating the way that works, as far as it's deliberately fluid. And so there are moments and times where the dancing looks more masculine, and then there's other times that the dancing looks more feminine. So you'll see a female doing a masculine dance, and it's very impactful. Or you'll see a male doing something that's feminine, and it's very impactful. Sometimes they'll do it together, and sometimes they'll go back to their, you know, our normalized gender positions and do something, and then they'll switch it up again. And so it's like watching some sort of modern 21st century ballet as well, but it's done in this urban setting, which is kind of cool too.
Is it here in Nashville?
Yes, it is here.
We saw that's Atlanta.
That's Atlanta, but it is growing in Nashville as well. You'll start to see kids out in areas practicing it and doing it as well. They do it. It's group oriented. It's not an individual type of exercise. They have clubs. They have cliques of people that do it together as well. Many times they're rehearsing over in like Centennial Park, places like that as well. You'll see them out there in the late afternoons doing it and stuff like that.
I mean, at the start of the show, you talked about your philosophy, that you want to amplify voices that aren't often heard.
Correct.
This fits in with that.
Completely.
Without doubt. I mean,
yes.
What about that?
Spot on. Guilty as charged. That's exactly what I'm trying to do, and to get people into a space of seeing something for the first time and opening themselves up to it and finding and seeing and feeling the joy that's inside of that. And so that's really the goal, and it turns them into a person that wants to know more and learn more and connect more as well. And I think by making these connections, a lot of that sort of peripheral hostility and violence and all that other sort of nasty talk that goes on, it dissipates and it goes away. That's the magic of watching these young people do this, is that everybody that gathers around is having a good time.
I like that you say and think, and hopefully true, that the hostility goes away. Mm-hmm. But for the hostility to go away,
Yes.
we need to talk and not be afraid to talk about these things.
Exactly. And I think because they are LGBTQ, it forces us to talk about it, because everybody's got an opinion about the LGBTQ community, or as the kids say, feels some kind of way about the LGBTQ community. So it forces these discussions that us regular old boring cisgendered people are so lousy at. You know, we're so closed off and walled off. And in these other communities, that's not the case. Everybody is open and free and expressing themselves. And when we walk into their world, we have to become open and free and start expressing ourselves as well. So it gets the dialogue going.
Gets the dialogue going. That's what film does. That's
Absolutely,
what it's all
and
about.
that's what it should do.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back, continue our discussion, and there's the number if you want to call, 615-737-PLUS, 615-737-7587. Be back right after this.